The S&P has rallied a little more strongly than we thought it would based on the last video. Today is June 5th, and the question is whether or not anything major has changed. And the answer is no. Basically, we were expecting an ABC correction starting May 23rd, finally ending July 24th with the final low, where the A wave was supposed to be more mild, which so far it has been. The A wave started on May 23rd, it came down for a week, and now it's rallying up the next week. It's retesting the prior high of May 23rd. It was at 2364, very close to the close here. The high there was 2368 on the futures. We're still expecting a high tomorrow on the 6th, which was in line with our original forecast, and a low on the 13th. The key thing right now is the bullish tendency is probably going to continue. Still expect to pull back into the 13th, but nothing dramatic. After the 13th, we expect a rally until the end of the month into early July. And given the strength already been displayed, it's likely we will see higher highs in early July than we've seen so far. Okay? Just to note that. After that, we still expect a fairly severe decline in July. And that decline may not reach the 4,600 level. But if it doesn't, it'll probably go to at least the 4,900 level. So nothing dramatic has changed, but there is an upside bullish tendency that's been a little more in the market than expected. And it isn't really that surprising because right at the moment, astrologically, Jupiter, which is a bullish type influence, is conjunct, meaning it's in the same place roughly in the zodiac as the sun and the moon and Mercury. You have a whole cluster of stuff all connected to Jupiter. It tends to give a little more of a bullish bias. However, the structure is not going to change. You can't change the structure of a building just because certain ceilings are higher. And ultimately, we should still see in ABC, we're not even finished with the A wave. We should see a decline into the middle of June, finishing the A wave, followed by new highs potentially early July, but not necessarily dramatic, followed by a fairly severe decline, as we have said repeatedly. Just the bullish bias is stronger. Now, I wanted to point out that there's a similarity in the way gold is behaving lately, and it's also because of that astrology that gold is up quite a bit, $26 or so today, as well as the S&P. And that is because the gold is in a pattern which is likely to be very similar to the S&P. We're also expecting a low around the 13th of June in gold, a high around July 3rd in gold, and a low around August 1st in ABC in gold as well, where the rally from the 13th to early July could be meaningful as well. So the structure is not that different. We did some work on gold, and we've seen that ultimately the longer-term story on gold is the uptrend is going to likely continue, and our upside target by then is 2682. Right at the moment, we're in the 2400 area. So a little more to go. But in the meanwhile, between now and late July, we should see more of a range-bound market with one more rally and one more breakdown into the end of July, early August. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, today, we put up our Matrixchannel Indicator for the first time on the gold market, on the gold futures market. And you can find it on our website if you're interested. Also, I want to announce our next Trade Forecast Mastery Masterclass course starting on June 16th, Sunday, June 16th. If you're interested in that, you can also find information how to sign up on our website. Okay? Nothing dramatic has happened, except there is a little bit more of a bullishness in the market right now. Too many planets are connected to Jupiter, which tends to buoy up what ultimately would be a more severe correction. But the correction is still a correction. It just has a B wave that's a potentially stronger B wave. B waves can make new highs, by the way. It's called an irregular type 2 correction. And the C wave, when that happens, oftentimes is more severe than otherwise would be indicated. Now, we haven't made new highs, and we still might tomorrow, the 6th. So we could watch for that and look for a potential reversal tomorrow. It's also a new moon tomorrow, which is oftentimes a reversal point. All right, on that note, have a good trading week.